We've all been in a situation where we're stuck in traffic or we're in the car. When nature calls, right? You have to go to the restroom. And we went to the thrift store, which was just newly built, to use the restroom.
How's it going, homies? For once in a long time, Tophiachu is the most interesting person in her family. For so long, Tophiachu has been playing second fiddle to Papachu's insane actions. Whether it's him getting arrested or falling in love with obviously fake women, he's had the ball in his lolcow court, and the rest of the family wasn't getting a chance to play. That was until last week when Tophiachu started to feel the Chu spirit and started crashing out herself. She couldn't withdraw $300 from her balance, her TikTok balance, because you know, like normal jobs, they have a pay date. But that wasn't soon enough, and the Chu family ended up on the streets with nothing but the clothes on their back, a beat up car, not for long, and a TikTok account to keep them afloat. And let me tell you guys, they were not happy about this, and like true stand-up citizens on hard times, they did what anyone in their situation would do. Brother Chu, the most level-headed one, only cursed out a few employees and packed up what belongings they had. Mama Chu left a Mama Chu slurry special in front of the hotel, and apparently Tophiachu was helping her out. I guess Anaconda Sins isn't the only female lolcow pumping and dumping anymore, but that would just be one of the bigger problems. But not the only one Tophiachu would encounter throughout this ordeal. You see, a cleaning lady happened to be around when Tophiachu and Mama Chu was leaving a gift for the hotel, and she made a TikTok about it, claiming a TikToker just left their hotel room completely trashed, garbage everywhere, basically destroyed the place. The worker never named anybody, but like a good lolcow, Tophiachu outed herself by going on a war path to destroy this lady. But in an ironic turn of events, Tophiachu just skyrocketed this worker's TikTok following, got her getting paid from TikTok, and ended up making herself look worse with each and every video she posted.
So she walked to work, which is okay. I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to walk to work. She walked to lunch and was filming. While she was filming, we were sitting in the car. Mind you, we cannot move because the car's not movable. We can't tow it. I even told my mom we have to move because she's going to keep harassing us. We're going to have to try to figure something out. It's expensive to tow it to where we need to tow it. Towing is expensive. Everyone knows that. Tow companies are super, super expensive. We do not have the money right now. We were trying to save. We were hoping maybe we could get someone to tow it or get a tow. We couldn't. The cops harassed us, which is why we had to tow it. So we're not there because the cops forced us to tow it. And he had to bother people early in the morning to tow it, my brother. But anyways, not that he's bothering, but you know. So, anyways. The maid walked to work, which was fine. She walked to lunch. Mind you, I had got a message before I had seen the maid, or the housekeeper, because people get mad, I call her maid housekeeper. I received a message from someone saying, don't let the maid film you, or the housekeeper. People are telling her to film you, and I was like, okay, thank you for letting me know. So I have a right to film. It's public property. Her job is not there, mind you. Her job is right behind us. Okay, and she could walk to work if she wants to, but she was liking comments about filming me. She was literally liking and responding to comments about filming me, saying, I'm going to try to see if I can film. Why are you trying to film us if we're just sitting in our car not bothering you? Mind you, I didn't look her way. I didn't antagonize her. I didn't do anything towards her because I wasn't looking towards her way when she was walking by. I just happened to look because I'm in a car looking at things, right? I have a right to look outside. I'm in a car. There's windows. And I see her walk by and I said, that's the maid. And I said, watch, because she was liking comments about filming me. So of course I'm going to be on alert because you just doxed my brother's car. Mind you, she doxed my brother's car. So then the 4 times that she's seen us, we were sitting in our car. So how would you know if we're using the restroom on the sidewalk if you've only seen us 4 times? And so she walked to work. She was going to lunch, I assume. Probably not just to act like she's just going to lunch so she could film us, because that video that she filmed where she's under trees, that's the video where she was right next to us as we were in the car when she was filming. So then she walks back to work. And after that, I didn't see if she walked home. I'm not paying attention to her. I'm looking, and she just happens to be where I'm looking. So I have to pay attention because she's over here saying she's going to film me and playing victim. Like, she needed to call the police and follow the police report. Like, what? Mind you, there's people in her comment section about a whole nother dude that lived where we lived that she made a video saying that it's my brother that is threatening her, but she doesn't even say, hey, guys, that's not him. Mind you, in Albuquerque, okay, the bus stations, right? The bus station where the public buses go used to have it open for people to go use the restroom. Homeless people started damaging it. It started getting damaged in there. They closed it off. You can no longer use the restroom. Greyhound is next door, right? You have to be getting a Greyhound bus to use the restroom. Downtown, a lot of businesses require you to be a paying customer to use the restroom. You cannot use the restroom unless you're a paying customer. So if you're downtown by bus and you really got to go to the restroom, sorry, there's no restrooms for you.
You gotta appreciate Tophiachu basically has nothing right now, and she somehow found a way to have something over the houseworker. Like, yeah, I've got a car. It's basically a Flintstone car, but look at you, hot stepping out here. Even though Tophiachu probably didn't consider, that lady probably lives close enough to walk. I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen many people walk to work. They normally find rides or take the bus. They got a job. They can make those sacrifices as they build themselves up. But Tophiachu really doesn't understand social norms. She really had no hope to begin with. Papachu putting up those weird crosses all over the place, telling her about how rich he's gonna be, while Mama Chu is chasing him around with a frying pan for sticking his tongue out to girls passing by the window. So it makes sense that she can realize how dire of a situation she's in, but not enough to know everything she's doing wrong. If you have to bunk down in a hotel parking lot for a minute, the last thing you want to do is bring attention to yourself or let anyone know that you're staying there. But she immediately jumps online to expose Squid, the hotel worker. Even though she wasn't named, if Tophiachu didn't do that, Squid probably wouldn't have started to drag you online. And here's something else that blows my mind. If you have to live in a car at an established business, why would you do your business around there? That's a surefire way to get the cops called on you and the owners to take every measure possible to get you to stay away from there. You're bad business. If I was out hunting for a hotel for whatever reason and I pulled into the parking lot and seen Tophiachu and her mom, well, anybody squatted on the sidewalk taking it all the way primal, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And especially when you know the Squid caught you guys in the act, why would you blast her online? You gotta shut your mouth. What was Tophiachu expecting? To cancel this girl? It's not 2016 anymore, and most people now will ignore your pleas and laugh at the situation. And Tophiachu should know this better than most. But I gotta say, I just find this so funny. I gotta point it out. Tophiachu throughout this entire video manages to contradict herself multiple times in the same video about the sidewalk incident. She really just can't get it through her head just to be quiet and not speak on this. You've already done it, you and Mama Chu, multiple times. You can't get away from this. You just gotta live with the consequences now. And how upset and mad she is about this really pushes me on the side of it did happen. Especially when there's so many other bigger problems happening at the same time for her. It's just not a good look.
Everywhere you look, like Tent City, right? Tent City used to be a place where people, I used to go walk that way. It smelled like an outhouse because people use the restroom. Of course, downtown, there's no places to use the restroom because you have to pay. Calling someone an animal and saying that they're pissing and crapping on the sidewalk, calling a human being, especially a homeless person, an animal, when we've all been in a situation that we've had to use the restroom somewhere because we needed it badly, and saying it's not racism? Mind you, I mean, if I'm a black person, of course it is racism. What was her reasoning for calling me an animal to use the excuse that we were using the restroom on the sidewalk when she only saw us 4 times? Mind you, we had been parked there for 3 days. And the day that we were parked there was a Sunday when they're closed. I believe it was the 28th, the 29th, the 30th. The 29th, the 30th, the 31st. I believe. And the third, and then the first. The second. We might have been there 4 days, 3 days. I can't remember. But I'm a literal human being that deserves decency and respect. I'm a human being. I am homeless. I can't move in my car. You're harassing us constantly saying, oh, well, she's going to work. She has a right to go to work. But when she's liking comments saying she's trying to record us and she puts on sunglasses and a hat to try to disguise herself so we wouldn't think anything suspicious, that's not right. And I even said there was comments and I showed my brother comments. It's a public property. We have a right to film. Her work was not there. So if you're liking comments trying to film me, that's a problem. For my safety, I'm going to film. Because I need the proof, and you literally admitted it in videos. She admitted it in videos. So her walking by and literally liking comments and responding to comments saying she's going to film me does not make her case any better when she keeps walking by. Mind you, she could go to work. Like, I'm going to say, yeah, she went to work, but she's trying to disguise herself with a cap and a hat to film us because she says she was. Mind you, she literally doxed what my brother's car looks like. What was the reason for that? Why is she acting like she's a victim when we just left the place? We didn't even call. Mind you, the lady that worked there said, I would allow you guys back. I would work with you, but corporate said, we can't have you here because of issues with rent. It had nothing to do with her room being dirty, mind you. She's just trying to use that, using my situation to make money and make herself look good. And she ran real quick after that and started filming. Mind you, our stuff was sitting there for almost a day and a half, probably a whole day. And she's too busy filming TikToks and not doing her job. So I don't know. I mean, me personally, I would not call homeless people animals for using the restroom outside. Considering how Albuquerque is, it is very hard to go to the restroom unless you have a home or you're a paying customer. I can't help it, right? And like I said, I didn't use the restroom on the sidewalk when she was walking by.
City has been overrun by homeless people. And I'm not talking badly about homeless people, but they're literally the reason why a lot of businesses are shutting down. Because this city is not doing anything about it. They've overrun downtown. Like, the bus stops are filled with nothing but homeless people that overtook it, that are doing hard substances. And this city, and there's nothing wrong with homeless people, it's just that this city isn't doing anything about it because there's so many tents and people also use the restroom there. Like, when you walk by there, it smelled like a outhouse, like a literal, like, porta potty. Very bad. And this city has been overrun by so many homeless people. It's crazy. Because all the trash, it is probably, I wouldn't say it's dirty, because there are probably other states that are dirtier than New Mexico. But downtown, it's like really, really bad.
But I want to address this because people have a hard time hearing. When I said, why are you watching people use the restroom? I said, I'm not saying that I use the restroom. After that, like, do you like to pick apart videos? Or do you just like, you literally just admitted to lying and then said that I told on myself, like, I didn't use the restroom. And then I was literally talking about how, I said, why are you watching people use the restroom? And then there's too much going on here. And then I said, this is not me saying I use the restroom. Dude, you just like pick aparting things. And what's funny is like how someone treats homeless people, but then dances around like, oh, I'm a good person because I said I'm giving to charity. So I got people evicted, but let me dance around because everyone loves me because I'm donating. Did you know that? I'm pretty sure Elon Musk donated, but he's a horrible person. There's a lot of horrible people that donated. Just because you donate doesn't make you a good person. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy how you said I admitted to using the restroom, which I said I didn't use the restroom. That's not me saying I'm using the restroom. I was just preferencing why you're watching people, which you literally just admitted you were watching us. So you admitted to harassing us. Thank you. Like, you just literally admitted you were watching us. For what reason? Why were you watching us? We wasn't even bothering you. You see how people telling themselves is weird. Like, admitting to watch people is weird, especially because we were sitting in our car. We wasn't even using the restroom. So why are you watching people that are not bothering you?
So initially, Tophiachu and her family was denying that all the mess that was left in the hotel room, not the one outside, that's different. The one left in the hotel room was not theirs at all. But then she says that lady was recording all of their stuff. So which one is it? It doesn't make any sense. If that's your stuff, then that's your mess. You left it, simple as that. I understand the Chu family doesn't care about reputation, but at least have the decency to not have some poor worker work 10 times harder just because you don't respect other people's property. And yeah, is it cool what Squid did? Not entirely, no. She definitely was wrong on some aspects, but she probably felt spited and then decided to go all out on Tophiachu. Like, you were an annoying customer, Tophia. You made that woman's life 10 times harder than it needed to be. She walks outside to go catch a breath from the fumes, and there's Mama Chu fumigating the bushes. That's gotta make you question your life. And then Tophiachu starts yelling at her from the window, so it makes sense you two started your camera battle, and it got bad. But I do gotta say this. The lamest thing to come out of our generation when two people are in an argument, so they both decide to whip out their phones, shove them in each other's face, and start recording. I don't know how that trend started, but I would really like for it to be over. And I do wonder how Tophia is feeling getting that last clip sent to her over and over again. Because it's wild, not even 6 months ago, Tophia is complaining about the same homeless encampment, how bad it smelled, and how it's ruining the city. But put in the same situation, she starts doing the same thing. And people are often hypocritical, just not realizing the reality of the situation some are in. But we all know Tophia has been living hotel to hotel for a while now. This is nothing new to her. She was in a homeless shelter, or at least needed one like 9 months ago, so she knows how rough it is not to have a home. But she openly criticizes these people even though she was probably doing the same exact thing. Because the way Squid is making it sound, her and Mama Chu was comfortable out there. Seems like something they've done before. Just maybe, possibly.
I try so hard to take care of myself, and the fact that people come online make fun of my hygiene because of one video I got bullied at my job. And the funny thing about it is, well, it's not funny, but is I can't do anything about this stuff because people justify it. I got bullied at work where I used to work because of my hygiene, which the coworker said that was not true. She was lying. And I come on the internet, make this video, and I didn't get fired because of hygiene. But then people want to say it's about my hygiene. I've been having to address rumors left and right. Well, this girl gets to make videos. It's not fair to me and my family. But we just gotta let it happen. I didn't call the police to talk to them. My brother did. Because he had enough. And I said, the police ain't gonna do anything. Sure enough, they said it's civil. The only thing we could tell her to do is to
to stop recording videos about you guys. Did they? I don't think they told her anything. Like, it's crazy that I have to let someone have the whole internet think I'm harassing her when she's harassing me. It's crazy to literally crap on someone, and the amount of classes comments of people saying, I'm in a house. Well, good for you. I can't do this anymore. It's hard. I'm trying to do the best that I can for my family, and it's never good enough. And then to have my business spewed on the internet and be told that I can't do anything about it. I haven't been able to cry since the situation because I don't want people to see that and be like, are you okay? Because I feel they're going to judge me. And the one thing that sucks is I saw a comment from a shelter we have here where someone said, why do you give homeless people stuff for free? No wonder why they're going to keep being homeless. Like, it's comments like that. I see people sleeping out in the cold and no one cares. My brother couldn't move his car. But yeah, I had to stay and endure harassment because, oh, she's going to work. Like, people masking it as her going to work. I couldn't even go into the thrift store without feeling bad. Like, I needed to go to the restroom and I had so much anxiety running into people. Today is voting day. I'm gonna try to go vote. You should do the same too. I just hope things get better, but I don't have no hope. And it shows me why people are not humans in this world. It really does. I'm gonna go, but I don't feel good at all.
It's not funny seeing Tophiachu break down, but what strikes me is she can't seem to figure out why she's so sad. Most people would be devastated right now in her situation, no doubt about it, but she's choosing to bring up the negativity she's faced in the past and put it at the forefront. When it's time to buckle down, who cares what others are thinking about you when you got so many bigger problems? I think she's trying to ignore it, but it won't help her. All she's doing is bringing other people down. She's got Brother Chu tempting to crash out, but he's actually approaching real people and being confrontational. And poor Mama Chu all tuckered out after looking for a makeshift bathroom, just coughing her head off. If Tophiachu would say, look, I'm gonna take this TikTok money that's coming to me, freshen myself up, and get some decent clothes, and I'm gonna go apply for jobs and then use the rest on a crappy motel. She might be able to pull herself out of this. If Brother Chu is helping as well, but we all know what's going to happen. She's going to pay for something overpriced, for her budget at least, and she's going to want to eat out because she's feeling all down, and poof, all those TikTok monies are out the door, and she's got to wait till next month.
I got the police involved is because my information is being constantly doxxed. Not only did she literally tell people what wasn't out there so I could get doxxed so people could find where I live, because that was her reasoning. That's the only reason I could think of. Why would you come to the internet and not name someone, knowing people are going to know who it is, and then proceed to call to right after we left because you knew that people was going to try to look for me so I could get doxxed somewhere else, and you continue the cycle. On top of that, doxxed my brother's car, thank you very much, and told people what his car looks like so people could watch out for it. Like, why is it okay for this woman to constantly go and dox us? We didn't tell anyone what the car looked like. You did. I'm tired. I'm tired of being harassed by people and then having to take it because people say, well, you're a horrible person. So I don't have, so I'm supposed to get harassed. But if I was doing this to someone else, people would have an issue. They really would. But she could call the cops and constantly harass us and harass us and harass us and harass us and harass us. I got woke up at 12 in the morning having to almost stand outside in the cold because they wouldn't help us because we told them, like, we can't tow the car. It's not movable. And they said, well, we'll tow it. And my brother said, where's it going to go? They said, oh, well, I was going somewhere. And then he had to bother people. Well, not bother them, but, you know, it was like 12 a.m. to have them come tow it because the cops were being an asshole, and they still kept trying to tow my brother's car with all her belongings in it. I didn't say anything to her. She feels inferior because the police are on her side, so she thinks. Mind you, this is going to civil. Like, seriously, they said it's a civil case.
Did anyone else notice that in whatever video it was that she addressed that, where she was like, why are you watching people go to the bathroom? So you were going to the bathroom on the sidewalk. Honey, that's not a denial. You just admitted that you were pissing and shitting on the sidewalk. She shit on the sidewalk, and then she said, why are you watching people go to the bathroom? First of all, I wasn't watching you go to the bathroom. I kind of just assumed that after your mom went to the bathroom the first time on the sidewalk, that's where you were going to the bathroom. And then you said, why are you watching someone go to the bathroom? Insinuating that you were going to the bathroom on the sidewalk. Were you not? Oh my god. That's the last video I'm making about that.
I won't lie, I've seen A-logs with far too much time on their hands pinpoint exactly where a person of interest location is. Fast, we all have. But let's not pretend here, Tophia, that you couldn't have at least tried to play it off a little, or just ignored the situation until it hopefully blew over, or you was in a better position to deal with this problem. But Tophia literally chose every bad dialogue option, went with the worst decisions, and now is wondering why everything is messed up. You could have had some time on your hands. Squid didn't call you out by name, but in less than an hour you exposed yourself. I don't expect a lot of self-awareness, but a little would help. And let's not forget Tophia exposed Squid to the internet and most likely got her doxxed as well, at least her place of work, so it's not like she got off any easier because Tophia does have some white knights, not an LTG level, but there's a decent bit who are probably actively messing with Squid as we're talking right now. And the thing about Brotherchu's car is messed up. He shouldn't have done that. What's done is done. And I know very little about Brotherchu. Heard he's not the bright shining spot of the family. He's got his own problems. But this is just another situation Tophia has dragged her brother into for no reason. This will affect him more than Tophiachu. They probably won't be living in his car for long. Probably because he doesn't have it anymore, and I really don't know what they're doing now. The situation just got 10 times worse. You see now why it was such a bad idea to throw stones while living in a glass house. Does that metaphor work when you're homeless? I don't know. So if Brother Chu was smartening up and planning to ditch Mama Chu and Tophia, well, that dream's over with now. I bet a crash out and bunking with Papa Chu in the local jail is starting to seem like a good option for all of them.
Notified by somebody, and I'm not mentioning their name, and I'm surprised this person even messaged me, was telling me don't let the housekeeper film you because people are telling her to film you. Then I received comments that she is liking, literally saying that she was going to film us. We're just in our car. We left the place. So why are you still harassing me as you walk by? Hello? Like, she was literally walking by and like saying, oh, well, she was going to her work. No, she was seeing if our car was there so she could call the cops to harass us. Mind you, the cops came and harassed us and was rude. All because she wants to be a hateful white woman who has a racist aunt, and people are trying to tell me it's not because of racism, but it literally is. I wasn't messing with you. Because you heard that I was going to get the police involved? Of course, you're lying to the internet for views. And I'm tired of having to address this woman, but I was not harassing her. The cops even said that anybody has a right to film. So let her make a police report to the cops. They can't do anything because anybody can film anyone. And if she was liking comments first and literally doing what the troll said to film me, then I have a right to film for my safety as well. So I'm going to. So that's what I did. Because she started it first. She's the type of person to go out of her way to be hateful to minorities, and birds of a feather flock together. That's why we did not get kicked out because our room was dirty. We got kicked out because they said they had issues with our rent. Mind you, the first time we stayed there, I'm not going to say anything because I'm not going to be accusatory, but I think I know what happened there, and I'm not going to say it. The review says it all. I'm going through something very difficult. I'm trying to keep my sanity and my mental health, while always constantly having to address and say I'm not going to address her, but then I got to defend myself. Well, she gets to lie on my name and then brag about how she made $300, and then people say, oh, she cares so much about you donating or what you're going to do with the money or giving it to charity. No, when people give to charity like Miss Shirley, and I know you guys know who Miss Shirley is, she feeds the homeless, right? She doesn't do it to come on this app and say she does it. She does it out of the kindness of her heart. So why should people, and I hate this with large content creators too, they come on this app and they say, oh, I'm going to give to a charity or I'm going to help a charity, and they're just doing it to get views. You don't have to tell people you're giving to a charity, just give to a charity. And then someone commented, she's not expecting us to give to the charity. First of all, when you're in the creativity beta program, you have to watch videos over a minute. So she's expecting you to watch those videos. So the money that you're making her is going to go to charity, which I don't think it's going to go to charity. I'm not concerned with what people do with their money. Let them. I'm not concerned with her making money. Go ahead. Make all the money you want. At what expense? She literally called Adult Protective Services and harassed me. I don't know. Guys, I don't feel good. I'm sorry. I gotta go. But every time I see a new comment, it's just someone being idiotic. Like, using someone's situation to make money, and you guys are applauding that. It's the same thing that guy's doing to Joshua Block. It's the same thing people did to, what's his name? Sorry, he slipped my mind. Daniel Larson. The same exact thing that he did to that people did to Daniel Larson. The same thing that guy did to Joshua Block. Anyways, I shouldn't be focused on having to defend myself left and right. I gotta go. The only reason I got the police involved is because my information is being constantly doxxed. Not only did she literally tell people what wasn't out there so I could get doxxed so people could find where I live, because that was her reasoning. That's the only reason I could think of. Why would you come to the internet and not name someone, knowing people are going to know who it is, and then proceed to call right after we left because you knew that people was going to try to look for me so I could get doxxed somewhere else, and you continue the cycle. On top of that, doxed my brother's car. Thank you very much. And told people what his car looks like so people could watch out for it. Like, why is it okay for this woman to constantly go and dox us? Why? Why is it okay for her to share information that's not out there? Why is it okay for her to dox and then get away with it? Because doxing's against the law. We didn't tell anyone what the car looked like. You did.
2024 is almost at an end, and I don't know if we topped 2023 in terms of lolcow entertainment, but the cows are sure trying. Who had Review Tech USA crashing out and deleting his million sub channel, getting DSP'd as well on their list, and who had Tophiachu giving some random woman on the internet her 15 seconds of fame, have it blow up in her face, accuse said woman of all sorts of heinous acts, even though you're the one who destroyed a hotel room and was defecating on public property, and get the Adult Protective Services called on you. That's one messed up day, or 2 days. It was at least 2 days, I think, because you couldn't keep yourself from complaining online and dry begging. But did Tophiachu learn any lessons? No. I guarantee you after this is uploaded, Tophia is going to hit her peak. Show us that she is Papa Chu's child. No more rumors. She's going to start running the bank, post a photo of herself flexing, and let her insanity drown out her hunger. Or maybe not. Maybe she should start looking for some other people to help her out. You know, instead of dropping hate towards Mr. Based, which he so desperately deserves, don't get me wrong. How about smartening up? The man's a pimp. He'll house you, put you under his wing. All you have to do is have a camera in your face 24/7. He might actually pay you too. That's better than TikTok is doing. So it's not smart to discount all of your options, Tophia. Might need to hit up Mr. Based. But we'll have to wait and see for that, homies. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, leave a sub, and follow the links down below. I'll catch you guys next time.